Hello everyone! We are back with another tutorial video, and today we are going to discuss PGWP or Post-Graduation Work Permit. I received my approval 5 months after submitting my application online. I did it all by myself, no consultant, no agency, so if you're looking to apply for this permit on your own, then this video will definitely help you. Shout out to Sanjay who requested this video. He reached out to me in IG after watching my video, How to Extend Your Study Permit, and he successfully lodged his application. Thank you, Sanjay, for your support, and regards to you and your wife. Just like before, the first half of this video is all about PGWP, the frequently asked questions, and the second half is the step-by-step procedure on how to lodge your application online. So before we continue, please consider subscribing to this channel and hit the notification bell for more videos like this. So what is PGWP? It stands for Post-Graduation Work Permit. An international student can apply for this permit provided that they attended a public school or a designated learning institution or DLI. If the student attended a private school, then they are not eligible for PGWP. If you have a PGWP, you can work as a casual employee, part-time, or full-time without the help of LMIA or sponsorship anywhere in Canada. I do have a friend. He studied in Ontario and he moved to Alberta for work with his PGWP. You must meet these 3 criteria to be eligible for PGWP. Number 1, you completed an academic, vocational, or training program in Canada that is at least 8 months in duration, leading to a degree, diploma, or certificate. Number 2 is you have maintained a full-time student status in Canada. And lastly, you received a transcript and official letter of completion from the DLI, proving that you have completed the requirements to complete the program of study. Another thing to note is that you can only apply for PGWP once in your lifetime. So for example, a student studied for a year and then applied for PGWP. It was granted for a year, and then the student decided to study again, then they cannot apply for PGWP anymore. You can only apply for this once. The length of your PGWP depends on how long you studied here. IRCC can issue a minimum of 8 months PGWP and a maximum of 3 years. The validity of your PGWP will not go beyond your passport's expiry date. So if your passport will expire, for example, next year, and you should have been given 3 years, then your permit will only be valid until your passport expires. After your passport renewal, then you can just apply for an extension of your PGWP. Take note of that, that is very important. After completing your program and you are currently employed, once you receive your TOR or your completion letter, whichever comes first, you need to stop working until you submit your PGWP application. In my case, I stopped working for 1 week until I completely submit my PGWP. What if you don't want to stop working? Then prepare all your documents while waiting for the completion letter. For example, if you receive the completion letter today, then later tonight, you can submit your PGWP so that tomorrow you can go back to work. You can do that. I know a lot of people who did that. When I applied for my PGWP, I was working as a personal banking associate or PBA, and that is under NOCP or Tier 3. During that time, international students who wants to extend their partner's open work permit, they need to have a job that falls under NOC 0AP or Tier 0123. However, on January 30th, 2023, 2 weeks after I submitted my application, IRCC removed this policy. International students can now extend their dependents regardless of their job category, provided that they have an indeterminate job. There have been no updates if IRCC will change this policy, but keep checking their website. This video is from October of 2023, so it might not be updated if you're gonna watch this like in 5 years. So do your due diligence and always check the IRCC website. For the fee, if you're a single student, then you have to pay $155 for the PGWP fee plus $100 for the open work permit fee. If you have an open work permit dependent like me, just multiply that by 2, so the total we paid is 510 Canadian dollars. Those are the most important things that you need to know about PGWP. If I missed something or if you have any questions, just comment down below. I'll do my best to answer it. So these are the requirements that you need to prepare before you lodge your application. For the international student, number 1 is the completion letter. You will receive this a few days or weeks after you completed your program. It depends on your school. It might take longer, especially during the holiday season. Number 2 is your transcript of records, and this is usually released together with a completion letter. Number 3 is Immigration Form 5710E. This is a downloadable form from the IRCC website for application to change conditions, extend your stay, or remain in Canada as a worker. Number 4 is Proof of Employment. This is very important if you will extend your partner's OWP. If you're a single applicant, then you don't have to worry about this. For me, I submitted a certificate of employment signed by our branch manager, my pay stubs or pay slips for the past 3 months, and the job offer. That might be too much, but for us, it's better to provide more documents to make our application more convincing to the visa officer. Number 5 is your passport. The next one is Immigration Form 5713, or the use of a family representative for online applications. Since I will submit Audie's extension on his behalf, I need to have his consent, so both of us sign this document. Next is marriage certificate if you are married, as a proof of relationship to the open work permit holder. The next one is your digital photo. Number 8, this is optional. It's client information or the letter of explanation if you want to provide more information about your application. Lastly is the medical exam if you're currently in or planning to pursue a career in the medical field. I did not submit for a medical exam because I won't be working in that industry. That's it for the international student. For the open work permit, they only need to provide few documents. Number 1 is the Immigration Form 5710E, same with mine. It is a form for applications to change conditions, extend your stay, or remain in Canada as a worker. Number 2 is their passport. And number 3 is also optional, and that's the client information or the letter of explanation. Okay, now let's talk about proof of funds, because I know that I will get questions about this. Do you need a proof of fund if you will apply for PGWP? The simple answer is no, but I recommend you to submit a proof of funds to strengthen your application, especially if you have dependents. So what are the proof of funds that you can submit? It could be bank statement or bank certificate. It's up to you. Again, it's optional. And for reference, we just use the basis from the IRCC website. So those are the requirements that you need to prepare. Now, let's go to the step-by-step procedure on how to do it online. This will just be a voiceover, so let's start. Once you log in to your GC key, go to your account homepage where you have all of your applications. Just go down. We will start an application and just click on this Apply to Come to Canada. Here they will be asking if you have a personal reference code. We don't have one, so just select the next one. I do not have a personal reference code. And you have to select this one, visitor visa, study, and or work permit. They have here some questions to see if you're eligible to apply. First question, what would you like to do in Canada? We will select work. How long are you planning to stay? Temporarily, more than 6 months. Select the code that matches the one on your passport. Philippines for me. What is your current country or territory of residence. If you are presently in Canada, you should select Canada. Do you have a family member who is a Canadian citizen or permanent resident and is 18 years old or older? No. What is your date of birth? Let's just invent a date. 1995, January 1. Okay, then hit next. Are you a lawful or permanent resident of the United States? No, I'm not. If you are, they will just ask you for the USCIS number. Okay, and then next. What is your current immigration status in Canada? I'm still a student. Even though I finished my program, my permit still says student. Do you plan to work on campus? No. Are you a full-time student at a participating post-secondary institution and want to work off campus for up to 20 hours? No, I'm not. I already finished my program. Have you recently graduated from a participating Canadian post-secondary institution for which you study program that was full-time? Yes. Is your work an essential part of your studies, like co-op or internship? No, I don't have co-op. And then next, have you been told by IRCC that you are approved in principle of permanent residence in Canada? No. Have you submitted a permanent resident application? No. Do you have a written job offer? Yes, I do, from my current job. Do you have an official letter from your school? So this is the completion letter and the transcript of records. So let's select yes. What is your marital status? I'm married. What is your province or territory of destination? We are here in British Columbia and we will be staying here, so I will choose BC. So this is the results based on the answers you've provided earlier. Number 1 is a closed work permit. Next is a temporary resident visa, like a visitor visa. And lastly, the postgraduate work permit in Canada. So this is the one that we want. And create your personal checklist. So this is another series of questions. First question, do you have an official letter from your school that confirms you've completed your study of program as well as your TOR? Yes, I have received it, so I will select yes. Have you had a medical exam within the last 12 months? No. Next. So here they are asking me if I am going to work in the listed categories or the listed jobs. For the question, do you fit into one of these categories? I will select no. Do you want to work in one of the following jobs? No. Next. Do you want to submit an application for a family member? Yes. If you are submitting an application for more than one family member, please start with your spouse or common law partner first and then followed by your children from the eldest to youngest. Which country does your family member live in? I'm selecting Canada because he's here with me. And which country issued your family member's passport? Same with me as well, Philippines. Is your family member a permanent resident of the United States? No. What is your family member's current marital status? What is your family member's date of birth? Let's invent his birthday as well. So let's say 1995, February 1st. And where will your family member be staying in Canada? So British Columbia as well. Then next. What is your family member's current immigration status in Canada? He's currently a worker. So, next. What does your family want to do in Canada? So, you have to select the second one. Apply for or extend an open work permit. Does your family member want to restore their status? No. Has your family member had a medical exam within the last 12 months? No. So same question with me. He won't be working in any of these categories, so no. And the same question. Again, the answer is no. Then next. In the past 10 years, has your family member given their fingerprints for biometrics? Yes. we had our biometrics before we arrived here in Canada. Okay, there are fees associated with your family member's application. Will you be paying your family member fees? Or is your family member fee exempt? Yes, I will be paying my family member's application fees. Do you want to submit an application for another family member? As mentioned earlier, if you have kids, you have to select yes on this. But for me, I will select no. Are you giving someone access to your application? If you have an agent or a consultant that you want to have access to yours, then you have to tick the yes. But for me, I will select no since I will be the only one accessing our application. And then next, in the past 10 years, have you given your fingerprints and photo or biometrics? Yes. There are fees associated with this application. Will you be paying your fees or are you fee exempt? Yes, I will be paying my application fees. Are you able to make a digital copy of your documents with a scanner or camera? Yes. Will you be paying your application fees online? Here are the lists of the credit cards they accept. So I selected yes. You can use a debit card or a credit card. And this page will show all your answers. You have a chance to review them. And if you notice that you made a mistake, for example, for this one, your birth date might be January 2nd and you put 1, just click on this pencil icon and you will be routed back to that page. Review every information, and if everything is correct, you can hit on continue. And here they do have a guideline, the step-by-step procedure on what you're going to do. Number 1 is use your account. We already did that. Save your application. You have 60 days to submit your online application. And number 3 is upload your documents. So this is very important. The maximum size of each file is 4 megabytes, and they accept these kinds of documents. They also have tips here on how to resize your documents. And then the last step is pay your fees. So let's continue. And this will be your document checklist. This is where you are going to upload all the documents. This is the application for a temporary resident made outside Canada. Do not fill this out because you're already inside Canada, I'm assuming. And for the client information, this is where you will upload your letter of explanation if you want to. And here are the fees that you have to pay. This is as far as I can go because I haven't uploaded anything. Once you have uploaded all the documents, then there will be a continue button here that will direct you to the credit card payment page. So yeah, that is it. That's how you submit your PGWP and your partner's open work permit online. As I mentioned earlier, I applied in January 2023 and I received my PGWP after 5 months, so May of 2023. My situation is very complicated and I don't know anyone who has the same situation as mine because I finished 2 different programs from 2 different schools from 2 different provinces. The first one is fully online and the second one is an in-person class. How can it be more complicated than that? Luckily, I was able to get the maximum, which is the 3 years PGWP. So that is it for this video. I hope this is helpful. If you like this, please give this a thumbs up and consider subscribing to this channel. Till next time, bye!